Biden administration says it feels confident the Republicans will get on board with their proposed stimulus package. But the cost of the White House's $2 trillion plan is a non-starter for Republicans who prefer their $600 billion version. Democrats and the GOP are also at odds over the size of the direct relief payments.
Make $80,000 or less, you will qualify for the $1,400 check. If you and your spouse make less than $160,000, you'll qualify for $2,800. Dependents will also be getting checks this time around.
So guys, have you received your fourth stimulus check yet? Well, here's the reasons why you haven't received it. Several residents across the country have begun to receive stimulus checks to help better cope with the effects of inflation on prices of certain products and even services. The first checks, for instance, in direct deposits from $3 billion was actually sent to the people of Massachusetts. About 3 million people in the state will get one of these refunds. To qualify for a refund right now, you must have filed a 2021 state tax return on or before October 17th of this year. If you didn't do that, well, you're actually in big trouble because anyone who has not done this but does it by next year will still be eligible for a refund. So these individuals receive their checks automatically. As for instance, everybody, individual eligibles are actually for a refund will receive it automatically as a check sent through the mail by direct deposit. Approximately 500,000 direct deposits and refunds were expected to be distributed and were scheduled to be distributed weekly thereafter until all eligible refunds have been sent out. California also began sending out payments between $200 and $1,000 in October, but they are continuing into January. And however, the state's franchise tax board expects 95% payments to arrive in residents' hands by December 31st. Colorado issued payments of $750 to single filers and $1,500 to joint filers. However, those who received an extension to file their tax returns may not receive the payments yet. Most Idaho stimulus payments have already been sent out, but for those who filed their taxes late, rebates will be processed throughout the 2022 year and into next year as well. Two stimulus payments are very important for the people that need it the most. But do you think that President Biden will give you a stimulus check? Well, the good news is that he is. Social Security payments are generally sent out to eligible recipients a once-a-month check. However, in certain cases, Social Security beneficiaries can receive more than one check per month. For some, this is a normal occurrence, but for others, it's going to be kind of weird. If you receive 2 Social Security checks in a single month, it's important to know why and to know if you should collect a payment sometime next year. It's because in any month where someone receives 2 stimulus checks of SSI, they won't receive any the following month. For example, in April, SSI beneficiaries received April 1st and April 29th checks, but didn't get any in May. Although the payment is usually one accelerated by a couple of days, it can be confusing for recipients who are not aware of this quirk in the system. SSI retirement benefits and SSI income payments are just 2 different benefits. You will never receive retirement benefit and your SSI payment on the same day. So, Americans could actually be facing the highest gas prices, so here's what President Biden is doing about this. Millions of Social Security recipients are set to get their monthly retirement checks worth up to $2,000 in only 5 days. According to the SSA, beneficiaries born from the 21st to the 31st of their birth month will receive checks next month on the 23rd. So if you're owed back payments on your Social Security record, you may end up receiving more than one payment per month. And this happens most often if you were recently approved for disability payments or the length of time between your established onset date is actually confirmed, and when you got your first payment also determines when you want to get the stimulus. Because we do know this, folks, the state of Minnesota has been collecting way more of our tax dollars than projected, and the state budget office estimated back in March the surplus is approaching $9 billion. This means that you'll be getting lots of stimulus money. Now, a Republican Senate proposal aims to restart the monthly payments to parents with fresh requirements. However, the proposal is called the Family Security Act 2.0 from Mitt Romney. The proposal follows the expiration of the child tax credit and give families access to monthly child tax credits for the first time and forever. So I hope that President Biden does more for the American people and send out stimulus payments because, let's be honest everybody, President Biden has to do this or it's game over.
Senators Durbin, Murray, Stabenow, and Senator Baldwin. Now, we had a great, happy, and spirited discussion in our caucus. Democrats are ready and eager and united to finish this Congress on a very strong note. We are excited for the future with a new and hopefully a little larger majority than we had in the last Congress. This Senate, the longest 50-50 Senate in history, has been extraordinarily productive. Nearly 2 years into the Democratic majority, I want to take a moment to highlight the many, many accomplishments we've secured in this chamber under Democratic leadership. It's the most in recent memory. the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Plan, the CHIPS and Science Act, the Gun Safety Bill, the Inflation Reduction Act, an omnibus package, and so many others in between. What people failed to see, then see now, it served us very well in the election. While Republicans were tossing firebombs over the wall, engaging in nasty, divisive rhetoric, just spewing forth lies about the election, we Democrats were focused on issues that mattered to people. So of the two big things that happened this year, one, we had a historic legislative session, and two, against all odds, we kept the Senate majority. The two are intrinsically related, and a lot of people forgot that. A lot of people just went for the firebomb of the day that was thrown by the Republicans instead of looking at actually what our candidates were talking about. Getting prescription drug costs lower for the public was one of their top priorities. We did it. We talked about it. We won the election.
Now, the IRS has also confirmed, folks, that many Americans will be receiving a new $1,400 extra stimulus check this year. In this video, I'll be going over the brand new requirements to claim a fourth stimulus check very soon. So, the IRS just said in an official statement that the IRS announced that the agency has issued all third stimulus checks to people. But new parents and other eligible Americans who added dependents in 2021 may also qualify for additional money. This means more stimulus money will be going out. The payments of up to $1,400 a person were authorized by the American Rescue Plan Act, and that's a crisis relief bill that Democrats passed in March. Some $1,400 checks may still be in the mail, but the IRS is no longer issuing funds from the first, second, or even third rounds. According to the IRS, the agency issued more than 175 million third-round payments, all to households worth over $400 billion through December 31st. The EIP payments also were issued by the IRS, and that was for $1,200 and $600. Now, families who added a dependent, like a parent, nephew, niece, or grandchild, on their 2021 tax return, and who was not listed as a dependent on their 2020 return, may also qualify for this. The IRS said that other people may be eligible to receive a full third-round payment, and they might not qualify for more. But families can recover additional stimulus money on their tax return by claiming the 2021 Recovery Rebate Credit. This is due to the fact that stimulus checks are technically an advance payment of the Recovery Rebate Credit. The tax season started Monday and runs through April 18th for most people. To claim the 2021 Recovery Rebate Credit, individuals must know how much money they received in total for the third payments. It is important to remember, friends, that this information is available through your online IRS account or via letter 6475, which the agency is mailing to those who received third-round payments. But despite all the financial assistance that has been sent out so far, millions of people still remain in financial distress, and the recent surge of the crisis is just creating new economic headwinds. According to new data from a census survey that polled people during the first 2 weeks of December,